The room is loud. People are leaning forward. Voices rise. Tension builds. Something important is about to happen. At least that's how it feels to everyone else. And then it happens. The room explodes, shouting, jumping, pure emotion. And you're right there in the middle of it. But instead of getting pulled in, you notice something else. The reactions, the faces, the intensity of it all. Almost like you're watching two things at once, the game and the people watching it. And at some point, a quiet thought appears. Not judgment, not confusion, just curiosity. Why does this feel so big to them and so neutral to me? Because it's not that you don't understand what's happening. You see the goal, you hear the crowd, you just don't feel the weight of it. And that's where the real pattern begins to show up. Because what if this is not about football at all, but about how different brains assign meaning and what they simply ignore? It's not that you're trying to be different. It's just that in a world where almost everyone seems to speak this language, you don't. And that shows up in small, quiet ways, not loud, but noticeable. 1, you notice the people, not the ball. While 20 people are staring at the screen, you're the only one watching them. You're fascinated by the veins popping on their necks and the way they're jumping around. You're watching the human condition while they're watching the score. 2, you don't feel the importance. For others, it's huge. Wins matter. Losses matter. Entire moods shift because of it. You can see that, but you don't feel it. 3, you can't fake the rush. You've tried. You've sat there waiting for something to click, but it never really does. And after a few minutes, your mind drifts somewhere else. 4, the wrong questions. You ask things a fan would never ask. How long is left? Or who's the one in the yellow shirt? 5, the search for an exit. You're the one who suddenly finds the snack table very interesting, or the one who offers to go get more drinks. 6, you're there for the people, not the game. This is the most important one. You're in the room because you like your friends. You enjoy their energy and their passion. You're participating in the friendship, but you're an observer of the event. And maybe the most interesting part is this. Most people don't question their interest in football. It just feels natural to them. So when someone doesn't share it, it stands out, not loudly, but clearly. And that raises a deeper question. What makes one brain lock into something so intensely while another one simply doesn't respond at all? So what is actually happening here? It comes down to how your brain assigns meaning and reward, the dopaminergic response. For a fan, every pass and every goal triggers a small release of dopamine. Their brain is constantly predicting outcomes and getting rewarded for it. But if you don't care, that reward system stays quiet. Your brain sees the same movement and registers it as just that, movement. No rush, no pull, and you can't force that response. Mirror, neurons, and empathy. Fans don't just watch the game, they feel it. Their brain mirrors the player's actions, creating real physical tension. But if your brain doesn't engage with that kind of stimulus, the mirroring simply doesn't activate. You're watching the game, but not feeling it. And this is where it becomes visible. Football is social glue, an easy way to connect. But if you don't speak that language, that bridge isn't there. You find other ways to connect. And sometimes that simply takes more effort. From the outside, it looks like disinterest. But from the inside, your brain is just filtering differently. It's not a choice. It's how your system is wired. And once you see that, a deeper question appears. Is this really about football or about how your brain experiences reality itself? But here is the part most people never realize. The reason your brain might not join the crowd is something called emotional contagion resistance. Most brains are designed to absorb the emotions of a group. When thousands react, your brain is wired to feel it too. It's a survival mechanism. But if you don't connect to the game, your brain may simply resist that pull. While others are carried by the collective emotion, you remain in your own state. You don't merge into the crowd. You observe it. And that creates a different kind of awareness, because while others are inside the moment, you are also seeing it from the outside. Not just the game, but the people, the reactions, the intensity. And that independence is not a flaw. It's a different way of experiencing the world. Now let's come back to those moments, the quiet differences that set you apart. Because once you understand the mechanism behind them, they stop feeling like an absence and start making perfect sense. You notice the people, not the ball. Not because you're distracted, but because your brain is naturally wired to analyze the human condition rather than the game. You're finding depth in the people while they find it in the score. You don't feel the importance, not because you're missing something, but because your brain doesn't automatically accept assigned meaning. You don't need a prepackaged emotion to feel alive. You're looking for something more personal. You can't fake the rush, not because you're difficult, but because your system values authenticity. You don't want a shortcut to connection. You want a real bridge built on something that actually resonates with you. The wrong questions. When you ask about the rules or the players, you aren't showing ignorance. You're showing that your brain doesn't just follow the ritual. You want to understand the logic, not just be swept up in the emotion. The search for an exit. When you head for the snack table or the kitchen, you aren't missing out. You're regulating your sensory input. You're protecting your independent state from the collective hypnosis of the room. You're there for the people, not the game. This is your greatest strength. You're participating in the friendship, not the event. You're the anchor in the room, the one who is there for the people, even when the game is over. And this is the shift. What looked like indifference is actually a high threshold for groupthink. What looked like being out of the loop is actually staying in your own center, and what looked like missing the game is actually choosing to stay fully present in your own reality. Maybe you recognize yourself in this, that quiet realization that your way of experiencing the world was never about being difficult. It was just a different way of being present. And if you're someone who lives for the game, maybe this is the moment it clicks for you too, that the person who doesn't join the roar of the crowd isn't being distant or judgmental. They just don't have the same emotional shortcut that you do. They are there for the people, not the score. They're watching the way your face lights up when a goal happens. They're enjoying the energy and the shared history of the room, even if their own brain doesn't trigger the same rush. And in a world that often relies on shared rituals to feel united, there is something incredibly valuable about that, because it reminds us that connection doesn't always have to be automatic. It doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes the best part of the game isn't what's happening on the pitch, it's the people you're sharing the moment with. So whether you're the one wearing the jersey or the one who's just there for the company, remember this: there is more than one way to feel the energy of the room. Step into the sun and own your brilliance as a gift.